3, 2, 1. Now it's going to be messed up. I'm going to have no idea where to start it. This is going to be tough trying to sync this with that. Hello, people.
Hello, people.
We got the audio and the video.
Welcome to the first Bauer Quarter Hour.
Bauer Quarter Hour. Look at it. You just bringing it in.
Why not?
I bring you in.
You don't have time to waste. It's just a quarter hour.
Apparently, you don't have any time to waste. My
Put
goodness.
out some quality information. You only have a quarter hour to do this.
Look at how quick you are. I better start the timer. We got 15 minutes.
No longer than 15 minutes. 15:01, done. Cameras off.
Oh, that's,
Mic off.
Mic off, camera off.
Mid-sentence,
lights off.
done. Doesn't matter.
Amy goes to bed. 15 minutes.
We're talking about...
Hold on. Easy here, woman. Easy here. Lady. I don't mean to call you woman. Woman's okay, though. That works too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Updates for the new year. Yeah. We're doing this about a quarter hour with the Bauers. I thought was kind of better than
the quarter hour with the Bauers.
Quarter hour. So you didn't let me bring that in. I was going to surprise you.
Well, let's just cancel.
No, we're leaving it all in.
Okay.
That's good. Quarter hour with the Bauers. It'll just be you and I talking for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Or just maybe me talking for 15 minutes by myself if you're mean to me or something. And you don't want to do it.
No, that would be me talking the whole time and you not talking if I'm being mean.
Could be. Check the watch. It's been a minute.
We are running out of time.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just going to choose like one topic each week and just kind of discuss it. And the topic can kind of be anything. And if people want to give us suggestions on what to talk about, we'd love to hear those suggestions.
The host will put a suggestion box on his Instagram, correct?
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Or you could just DM me. Send me a DM.
Get up in those DMs. Mitch's favorite thing.
Yep. In the DMs. I do DM a lot of people. Just because I like to interact. It's fun to interact on social media. I think that's a good thing. But, none the fact. We were going to talk today about New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about them. If you have any. Blah, 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 blah.
I think they're great. Don't you? It's always good to set goals.
I agree. I think they're smart, good, when used properly. But I think they're dumb because about 90% of them fail.
Because there's like a stigma around it.
It's because everyone's New Year's resolution is to lose weight.
It's the same.
Everyone goes to the gym for 1 month in January. The gyms are packed, and then February starts coming, and people
February 1st, and they just trickle.
Start wheezing out. Actually, it's probably more January 15th. Like, people last like a week.
No.
Yeah, and then they start trickling out.
I think it's more
the trickle starts after a week. But it bleeds, I think, all the way until February.
Mm.
Possibly March.
At what month do they cancel the membership? Are we talking March? Because they're still holding on?
No, they probably, depends on the person and how stubborn they are. Probably anywhere from like 6 months to a year. I think you hang on to the membership. You hang on to the dream that you're going to be working out a lot.
The dream just floats away.
The dream that we all dream of being jacked. Doesn't everyone kind of dream about that?
That's your dream.
Yeah, but I think we all think about it, like being in good shape. I think we all want to be in good shape. If we could choose, if you put a really good shape body and a really not in shape body and you had to choose, which one would you choose? Or you could put the dad bod in the middle, or like the
average bod.
The average bod in the middle. Some people might choose the average bod. The average bod's cool. I got a very average bod.
So do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Kind of.
Let's hear them. But
You go
short and
first.
sweet.
You go first. Do you have any?
Kind of.
Okay, you go.
I mean, one is to not eat any sugar.
Zero.
Zero sugar.
Zero sugar 2023.
For the first month. Like, no cookies,
Okay.
no added sugar, nothing like that.
No added sugar.
Like, natural sugars is fine.
Okay.
Like maple syrup, fruit, those
Okay.
things. So if I want coffee, which I've been making my little latte deal, that is with no sugar.
No sugar in that? Those are yummy.
Well, it's maple syrup,
Oh.
but it's
That's a lot of sugar in maple
it's
syrup.
natural sugar. It's not a lot though. It's like a half teaspoon. It's tiny.
Really?
Yeah, it's tiny, and it's only in the whipped cream.
It's really yummy.
And the whipped cream, might I add you, is just heavy
Lattes.
whipping cream.
You got to add your recipe on that latte
I should.
so the people can experience it.
So that's one goal. Not that I was a drinker before ever, but just like really being mindful of drinking.
Alcohol consumption.
Yeah, I mean I don't drink hardly ever anyways.
I don't think you have to be mindful.
So
you
I think
had like 2 beers in 2022.
so
Maybe not even. Maybe 2 glasses of wine.
well,
You're
so that's
pregnant
my
most
thing
of
is
it.
like I'm not a drinker, but I'll have one every now and then for like no reason, just to like remind me that I'm not a drinker. So I'm gonna see, like, this is a challenge to myself, just to like not have any, even though I have zero problem with it.
You don't really drink much as a parent anyways. And we're not like the parents that have like beers on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, or like after a stressful day, I don't
don't
want
want a
wine.
beer.
I don't want alcohol at all. That
Because
does
I
not
feel
help me
like
de-stress.
Yeah, it almost makes me more
It
stressed.
makes me more stressed.
Yeah. Like the next day, it's just you're piling on to the stress.
Yeah. And then my third and fourth is spend less time on social media and at least go to the gym, hopefully 2 to 3 times a week.
Hopefully. That's not really a concrete goal.
It's not, but if I can get to the gym, that's huge. Don't have the most amount of time in the world.
Yeah, no, we don't.
So I'm starting with 2 to 3
I
times.
have more time than you.
Yeah.
You have probably the least amount of time because you got a baby hooked up to you every 3 hours.
Exactly. So those are my 4 goals.
I think those are good 4 goals.
Oh, and I would say get more into like Eaglebrook and reading the Bible, which I've been trying to do. My study Bible.
Shout out.
Anyways,
I'm thinking, I think those are all great goals.
there are a lot of
Great
goals.
resolutions.
So one of
it
them,
seems like, yeah, you got to kind of hone in on maybe 1 or 2.
one of them's not going to work out. So that's okay.
4 is kind of a lot.
It's like 5.
Mine, one of my concrete goals is to get under an hour a day of screen time. Consistently. Which is hard.
I don't think you're going to be able to do it.
I
Only
love
because
haters.
Only because you work from your phone.
I got to figure it out.
This is a huge challenge. So if you
I
can
know.
do it, I will personally. What will she do? This could take many turns.
Back rub?
Yes,
Foot rub?
both.
Ooh. Wow. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You need to shake on it.
Under an hour a day. How many weeks in a row? Before I get the,
I would say a month.
gift.
Say
A month? So 4 weeks?
4 weeks.
Because you get it every week, every Sunday.
But we might have to modify once you get into this, because if it takes forever and you just can't get under an hour because of your work, it might just be like an hour and a half. Or like you might up it 5 minutes.
See. Yeah, that might be
Just to make it more realistic.
That might be a tall order as well.
To get it under an hour.
And my other goal is to not raise my voice in the house.
He's a chronic
Ever.
yeller. I get yelled at all the time.
No, you don't. I never yell. But when I do yell, I think back to the times where I do raise my voice, and I'm like, that was so unnecessary. I don't like raising voice. At like Wrigley when he won't go to bed.
Oh.
When was the last time I yelled at you? Realistically. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it was when we were leaving for Christmas. One of the days.
Did I yell?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say?
You like took something I said wrong. And I asked you a question like about the truck. Was it pulled out? And you had already did it. Something like that. And you like raised your voice at me. And I was like, and I snapped back because I was so mad. Because you raised your voice at me because it was a genuine question if you had backed the truck out or if you had turned it on and you freaked.
I don't remember that.
I remember my response. I swore. You probably didn't hear me.
Probably not.
Use the F-bomb.
Wow.
And I was up by the door. I said, you're annoying. Because you yelled at me.
That's
over
mean.
You yelled at me over something that was a
probably
genuine
didn't yell, though.
question. No, it was a yell. I don't snap like that.
Yes, you do.
No.
It's a daily occurrence.
No. I don't snap like that. Like, feel that fiery passion. Often, it happens when you raise your voice at me.
It's funny.
From misinterpreting something I said.
We're not really talking about our New Year's resolutions
anymore.
No,
now we're hashing it out. This is marriage.
Yeah, so quickly that turned.
Okay, anyways, back to the New Year's.
New Year's resolution. Not raising my voice.
Yes.
And not like saying that I do that a lot. I just don't ever want to do it. I want to do it 0 times in 2023.
Disclaimer, it happens like once every 2 to 3 months.
Maybe. That's
not often. So if he does raise his voice, it's like, oh, I did something. I must be
have been really mean.
Yeah, that must be annoying.
There's just so many better ways to resolve issues than voice raising. Voice raising gets us nowhere. Mm-hmm. Just applying pressure is what it is. Mm-hmm. And especially with your kids, because things that stick out to kids are like the negatives. So when he grows up, I don't want him to think, oh, my dad just yelled at me all the time.
Yeah, you don't want him to look back at his childhood and be like, I remember Dad yelling at me.
Every night before I went to bed, Dad would yell at me.
Dad yelled at me.
Because all I wanted to do was snuggle.
All I wanted to do was snuggle. I just wanted to love with him.
And I'd look back and be like, what an idiot I am, you know?
It's just in the moment, it's
like
hard.
The kid, all he wants to do is snuggle with us and put him to bed and spend more time with us.
I know.
If we get upset about that, that's our fault, not his. Because we are going to look back one day and be like, I wish he was 2 again. Mm-hmm. And because that was such a fun age.
Yeah. It's always like heartbreaking when you yell at him. And then like for me personally, I've told you this story. I've yelled at him before because it's taking like 2 hours to get him down. It is so frustrating. He's screaming and it's just like, I need to go decompress myself. But I can't do that if I can hear him screaming and I have to help him. Anyways, like after yelling at him and then going in there, what I often do is just sit in the corner, like, or against a wall, and I'll just sit there. And I'll let him cry. He cries a little bit, but then within like 5 seconds, he just walks up to you and gives you a hug and sits in your lap. After
he forgives quick.
And we were talking about this the other day about how we have so much to learn from children because they're resilient. One, they are so forgiving. They don't hold grudges at all. Mm-mm. They don't know how. And I hope he stays that way.
He bounces back so fast.
I hope he never learns to hold a grudge. When someone treats him poorly, still show up with kindness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good teaching point.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good mom.
Not always. But I try.
We all make mistakes.
We all do.
That's the beauty of life.
And your children will forgive you.
That's how we learn. The more mistakes you make, the smarter you're going to be. Because if you don't make any mistakes, you're
down
to the final minute.
Down to the final minute.
If you don't make mistakes, then you're perfect. And who wants to be around someone who's perfect? Not me. I want to be around people who are making mistakes, have made mistakes, because that's what we do.
And they come back from those. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to learn from your mistakes. You can't make mistakes, 2, 3, 4 times. Because then you never learn from your mistake.
Sometimes it takes people 5 times to learn.
Sometimes.
Unfortunately.
Depends on the mistake. If it's like eating sugar cookies,
fine.
then,
But if it's killing
I've
people.
made a mistake like 20 times. I always say I'm going to quit. But yeah, if it's murder, that should be a one-time mistake. If. Not even.
No.
But I mean like on accident or something. That sounded weird. That didn't sound good. But yeah, learn from your mistakes. This week, Max Johnson on the interview.
On the full hour.
He's a
Bauer hour.
The full Bauer hour.
You're just in the quarter.
He's a funny cat, Max. We talk about some funny stuff. Don't really take anything that he says too serious, except for he really loves music. And he's getting a lot better. Like, he gets better and better every time I hear him.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Follow
and I think
him
that's
and-
really important.
Yeah, I mean, the people should follow him, and they should
Watch his progression.
watch his progression, but also go out to see a show.
Absolutely.
I think we
yeah.
went to the Caribbean. It's a little restaurant
No,
on.
not the Caribbean.
Yes,
Sorry
it was.
to correct you.
It was the
It's
Caribbean.
the Tequila Butcher.
No, it's not. It's the Caribbean.
Okay.
I promise you, I've never been to the Tequila Butcher.
Yeah, you have with me.
No, I have not.
Okay.
This is the Caribbean. It's the Caribbean, and it's on Lake Minnetonka.
Okay.
I'm going to fact check him after. Stay tuned for his Insta stories. This will be on there. Or not. Anyways, we were there. And it was a great environment. The vibes were there. It's like a little...
It's cool. Yeah. Sun was
Casual.
setting. He was playing he plays a bunch of good covers. Yeah. And he plays his own music too. And he's really good.
Some originals.
Yeah. It's fun to listen to.
With that,
So get out. Live music. Shout out to Max. Let's hear him talk about politics. The title is Let's Talk About Politics. Don't take anything we say too serious.
before Mitch cuts us off,
I'm going to click pause.
we should get some feedback if people liked the quarter hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Like. Comment.
Tell us what we should talk about. This is just casual talk.
Yeah.
Every couple weeks, 2 weeks. Don't know.
Maybe every week.
Maybe every week. It's just
Who knows?
something we can just chat about life.
And we're going to stay on Tuesday nights until the end of football season. And then we might go back to Sundays, depending on feel and vibes.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just didn't like posting on Sundays because it was always football.
Yeah.
And I think people like listening to football on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Not saying like people didn't like listening to us or the Bauer Hour, but I think people like doing recaps on games.
Oh, we're past.
Now we're past 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to get into the show. Bye.
Peace. Peace. Peace.
Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, you can bet I'd move it over a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I don't want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues